On July 14, 2023, at 9:45 a.m., I made a very ambiguous notification on the Discord, essentially saying all channel operations were ceasing until further notice, and I implored everyone to spend time with their loved ones. This was 23 minutes after I found out my mom killed herself. At 9:22 a.m., my father called me asking me to open up my door. This was extremely abnormal just due to the fact that my dad calls a day prior to tell me, "Hey, I'm going to be arriving at your apartment at this time on this day. Just making sure you know." And stuff like that. Typically, he does that. But this time around, there was no notification other than him just saying, "I'm at your door, open up." So I quickly put on a hoodie and walked to the door. I just see my own father crying rather profusely. And he told me on July 13th, 2023, around 11:48 p.m., he found my mom's body in her truck. She committed suicide. She's been struggling with depression, bipolar, and a lot of things for a good portion of her life. Mixing PTSD with that too. She has been suicidal before. However, I will state this now. The reason why this was rather sudden, unexpected, or anything of the sort was because in the last 4 months, she's actually kind of cared about living. She has talked about wanting to meet my girlfriend, wanting to be around for grandchildren. She wanted to start exercising every morning, and she was exercising every single morning. She started eating right. She was doing all sorts of things where she even started rebuilding bridges that she burned with people, myself included. Now, I have made videos in the past that kind of give glimpses into my childhood. I don't think I really talked about my childhood, but definitely my adolescence during high school. And um, obviously, I harbinge a lot of negative emotions towards my mother. But it would be unfair to say that it full heartedly. For example, she stopped doing the things I really disliked during high school. She would still have the occasional manic episode where she kind of just becomes erratic and explosive with anger and all sorts of things. But the main thing was she stopped being domestically abusive. She stopped talking about how she's going to kill my father or us as children in the middle of the night. She did all sorts of things. She stopped doing that. And um we she renewed her vows with my father in last October. And we had a ride by ourselves and we kind of hashed things out. We agreed to disagree on a few things, and she eventually apologized to me. I apologized to her. Um, because at the time I didn't do necessarily 100% of the right things that I could have, but I was also like 18, 19, and I anger was just a thing. I wasn't fully mature. I wasn't able to think rationally. I said some things that were just awful, and she said some things that are extremely awful too. Um, but during that time, we kind of reconciled. We talked about the future. She really wanted to be my girlfriend, be there for grandchildren, and with the amount of progress she made, even though I am a pretty skeptical person when it comes to people, changing and stuff like that, I do believe people can change. Which, don't get me wrong about that. People can change for the better and for the worse. But I accept people change, but I'm always skeptical of when they'll show their true colors, aka the colors that I'm already accustomed to, the reason why they changed. Uh, but for the most part, she changed a lot. I don't know if it's because she just knows that it wasn't healthy to do all that. I don't know if it's because I don't know. I don't know what was going through her head, but she definitely changed a lot. And one of the things I definitely have not put on my channel is that she at least apologized. Which makes me kind of feel awful because, like, I have videos basically talking about my childhood or my adolescence, really, and it definitely paints her in a terrible picture. And in those sort of moments of trauma, yes, that's going to happen. That's just human. But one of the things I was wanting to do eventually is say I'm wrong. Um, I want to. I don't know if I would really want to private the videos because even though they would be eventually wrong, they were still right at some point in time. And that's the rough part. Plus, not just that, I only keep Shelter up and like a few videos, not because I really enjoyed those projects. No, I keep it up so if people stumble upon that song and they've been through a very similar situation, they can kind of find comfort in that. Um, so I helped with the funeral arrangements and uh try to help my brother through it. I tried to help my dad to the best of my ability. My dad was ornery throughout the whole time, but that's just my dad. Um, and it was extremely sad. My girlfriend finally got to meet my parents. Sadly, it was in very unfortunate circumstances. Um, and we got to see a lot of family. We started building bridges with family members that um we thought were doing some awful things behind the scenes, but it turns out there was someone else orchestrating that. Now we're extremely pissed at that person. um the reason why I'm making this video is mostly for remembrance. Um Despite all the awful things that my mom has done, I still mourn her death. And I have complicated emotions about it. Um Very complicated emotions. Um that I'll probably take a while to process. Hence why I made the Discord post that I made. It's going to take a long time to process it. And more importantly, I just don't know if I'm going to be the same afterwards. It's kind of like a storm. You might come out the same person, you might come out an entirely different person. And um I kind of want to start doing videos again, but I don't think I don't know what I really want to do anymore. I kind of did this to kind of pass time and stuff like that. But if I use it for the same purpose, I feel like I'm avoiding things and just don't know. It's super weird. I just don't know. There is no right answer. It's just figure out what you want to do. I guess. I did make two new songs. The first one, "Life Is Cruel" by Will Continue. That was made before this. So was Enigmatic Self. Those were both made before this instance, but it definitely kind of hits closer to home after this. I will admit, and I I recognize that I have a hard time talking about issues that I have, and have a very tough time putting that out there. So this video in particular is going to be rather hard to upload, and I don't. I feel like it's just mostly due to the fact that it makes you vulnerable, right? Because this is now going to be public information and stuff like that. And easily, if someone just wants to troll me, they just go into this video, extract a little bit of information, and just torment me with it. But honestly, at that point, I just bring up like, man, do you got nothing going on? You just torment the tormentor, I guess. That's the way to go. Um, the I will say that I'm gonna get through this. I I really don't have a choice whether or not I get through this. I'm gonna have to. The world doesn't stop for you. You just have to keep moving, and as you progress, you're just gonna have to take some time for yourself. This video is going to have a charity attached to it. It's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I don't ask people for money. In fact, I don't even ask you guys to like videos, share videos, or subscribe, really. I mean, I put them in outros, kind of, but that's because that's a standard thing that every YouTuber does. I personally don't feel like begging, but um, it would be wonderful if you even just have $1, just a single dollar. Donate it to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Um, the one good thing about this entire situation is that we can try, and just because it hits closer to home, it allows me to understand the pain of not only my like stuff, but also how it feels to lose something or someone. And if I could prevent just a single life from doing it, that would be just honestly wonderful. Because that has a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, and stuff like that. Um, More importantly, they have wonderful resources for people that are suicidal. So if you're watching this and you're going through a very tough time right now, surprised that you didn't click off the video in the first place, but thank you for getting through this with me. But there's resources for you too. That's going to be in the description down below. If you have anything to spare, please send it to them. They're a wonderful organization. Um, my mom's taught me that you have to make good out of bad situations, and that's what I intend to do. Um, so, please give that a look down below. I'm going to end this video and start doing something. I don't know what I'll be doing. Probably play some video games. I don't know. See ya.